Hello, this is Carlos Sayon. I am doing my lesson plan on basketball dribbling for my course eTech 444, grade level 9, number of students 25. The lesson should be 60 minutes long. This lesson covers California Standard 2, 3, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 3.1, 3.9. Also my equipment and what I need. My whistle, phone, timer, cones, basketballs, poly polyspots, music speaker, and iPad and Chromebooks. So I can use my Con Amigo. Students will do at least 10 jumping jacks by using cues, starfish, and rocket ship by the end of class. Students will name one dribbling cue, be light on your feet, to a partner by the end of class. Students will be asked to give a classmate a fist bump at the end of class period to show they enjoyed the activity. These are my behavioral objectives. Here I have my preparation and layout of the class before class prep. Poly spots are set up, appropriate music, cones are set up, and some visual task cards for my students that are visually impaired. To start off the day, we have our activity number 1, which is our warm-up that should take about 16 minutes. The purpose of this warm-up is to build up the student's heart rate prior to physical activity. Students will have 10 minutes to dress and sit on their potty spots while teacher takes roll. Students will then do their dynamic stretches. A few students will volunteer can lead the warm-up. After students are done with their stretches, then the teacher will give them a brief overview of what to expect for the class period. In the overview, they will be informed on the importance of the exercise and be asked at the end of class of the conclusion as an informal question assessment. Students will jog a lap around the track as part of their warm-up. Part of their cues include arm circles, thumbs up for forward, and arm circles and thumbs down for backwards. Jumping jacks, starfish rocket ship, jog in place, moving feet or your toes. Leg circles, stand on one foot, make a circle with the opposite foot and then switch. High knees to chest. Here we have some modifications as well. I also have assignments and instructions for paraprofessionals and peer tutors that are in the class, a diagram of the activity and the layout, planning for all behaviors. Students will be held to the classroom rules that will be established during the first week of class. The first time a student is not following directions, then the teacher will use different techniques like proximity control or a verbal conversation with the student. If the student continues to misbehave, then they will sit out the rest of the class activities and sent to the office along with a phone call home. After this, I plan for my transition time, which should take 2 minutes. Students will be given 30 seconds to stand around the basketball court. Now, this leads into my activity number 2, which is where students will be introduced to dribbling a basketball. Students will be introduced to the court markings on a basketball court. This is where it's time for what I like to call Dribble Palooza, which should take 11 minutes. The purpose of this is to learn to dribble a basketball. My learning objectives are also right here as well. Modifications are to the right. And the activity is that students will have the opportunity to practice dribbling on the basketball court. They'll be given 12 minutes to practice dribbling and work on their cues that have been given to them so they can become accustomed to the basketball. Also, I still have assignments and instructions for paraprofessionals and peer tutors that are here to help in the class and plan for all behaviors. And then after that, I will have transition time. Should take 1 minute to lead into activity number 3. And this is where students will be introduced to playing dribble tag. Students will use the out of bounds as a boundary to stay inside. Students will split into groups of 6 per full court. Dribble tag should take about 19 minutes, and the purpose here is so that students can work on their mechanics and they think about their cues that they learned in class. I also have my standards written here as well that they meet, each activity meets, and plan for all behaviors. Of course, to close my activity, this is where I plan on using Conmigo, the tool. To close, students will be asked to grab one of the iPads, or I should put Chromebooks as well, but one of the iPads that are set up for their exit ticket. Students will work on their exit ticket by logging into their Conmigo account to access their exit ticket questions during the last 10 minutes of class. So I will be using Conmigo to basically check for understanding and see if what kind of differentiated instruction I should plan for students that are having a bit trouble understanding or students that are completely understanding and can work on their own, can work on a little bit of what our next activities or our next lesson leads into. Here we have the Conmigo tool, and this is how I plan on implementing the Conmigo tool technology into my lesson plan that includes physical education. So as you can see here, these are all the tools: the booklet generator, chunk text, class newsletter, class snapshot, clear directions, discussion prompts. There's many tools that you can use here that you can implement into your instruction. We have the exit ticket, fun class summary poem, IEP assistant, informational text, learning objectives, lesson hook. There's just so many tools that you can really get diverse, and you have a variety of what you can use into your own lesson plan. And what I plan on using that I feel that could possibly help me assess the students and see if I need to create some type of differentiated instruction between certain students on how they are understanding the information that I will be teaching them. So what I plan on doing is I could, for example, use an exit ticket. Conmigo is like AI, they make mistakes. These tools can save you hours per week, but ultimately you're the expert. Check over your work. Conmigo needs your guidance. I understand. So, for example, my lesson plan was ninth grade basketball, correct? So, if I wanted to give them an exit ticket question, I would say, how do you play dribble tag, for example? I will just write it, ask it, press start. The students will have this question once they log in. How to play dribble tag exit ticket. Estimated time 1 to 2 minutes, but obviously you can tweak this into making it longer. You just keep going. Dribble tag reflection. On a slip of paper, answer these two questions before you leave. What is one key rule or strategy for playing dribble tag that you feel confident about after today's lesson? What is one part of a dribble tag you still find confusing or want to practice more? So this right here is perfect because both questions ask it. They give you more of a checking for understanding, as if a student is understanding the knowledge properly, then they will answer this question correctly. And then part two, what is one part of a dribble tag you still find confusing? This right here is what can help me create my differentiated instruction groups to see which students need help, and for me to understand that some students need support in certain areas or in different areas. So that will definitely help with assessing the students. You could go back and use different other tools to implement in your own lesson plan, like class snapshots and stuff like that. But I think for me, my most used tool that I can see right now would be for my exit ticket, just so it is quick and it gives me a better understanding where students are in their academics within the class lesson, or as in more where they are in their progress.